Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And here's the return from inside the 5. And he stopped at the 20, tried to make something happen. That's good coverage there. So Alabama's offense will get the first swing today. Let's check out the impact players in this game, Kirk. Guys that are going to have to step up and deliver. The teammates look to them. Coaches are counting on them today.
Chris, I think these are the guys that show the most consistency, and I think that's why we're showcasing them. And they're going to have to be able to step up and not only make plays, I think provide the leadership. Coaches told us all week that these are the guys that really are unique within this program, and hopefully they play well today. My gosh, this defense heard all week about stopping this receiver. If you're going to do anything to have a chance to win, you got to stop this guy in the very first play of the game. First down and big yards.
They'll test the right side here. Nice run. He's brought down to the 44.
Love those positive yards on 1st and 10, and it's not quite a first down. Looks like it'll bring 2nd and inches, but sure does open up the playbook here to be able to open up, maybe take a shot downfield.
Less than a yard to go as they come to the line on 2nd down. Receiver in motion now. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw it. Looking for the wide out. What a catch! They make the stop, but it's a big play to the 31.
You know, Chris, if we would have told Bear Bryant that Alabama would have a wide receiver that won a Heisman in recent years, I don't think he would have believed us. But that's where we are. They've been some great ones in the past, and we're seeing some great-looking receivers on this unit right now.
Alabama getting set with a 1st and 10 now. QB decides to keep it here. He gains 9, so it's 2nd and 1.
Well, if there's a silver lining for the defense, at least this quarterback didn't get out and gash him for a first down. But now they've got options coming up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they go back to him again.
Important 2nd down play coming up. Dropping back, it's Simpson. Grab down the middle, it's Williams. Not much after the catch, but it is good enough for a first down.
Anytime you have a chance to get this wide receiver isolated, to get the ball in his hands, you do it.
Alabama has now moved into the red zone. On 1st down, it's play action. Lets it go quickly. Oh, he makes the catch! They finally stop him, but that gain is good for a 1st and goal.
It's hard to be in man coverage when the quarterback has this kind of time to be able to navigate and find the open man. He finds his receiver pulling away from that defender, makes a nice throw and a 1st down.
Alabama's offense now lining up on 1st and goal. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Refusing to be brought down. Touchdown, Tide.
That's what I love about this quarterback. It's a great touchdown, but he shows you his versatility. We know he can throw it, but here he shows you his speed and how he can make the defense pay for that as well.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. Coverage team flying down there. Good job. They limit the return. Not much there. The Sooners offense out there for their first possession. They will go up against a secondary, Kirk, that talks about the no-fly zone. These guys are confident in their ability to just lock down wide receivers and take away the opponent's passing.
Seems like every year in college football, there's secondaries around the country that want to brag that they have the best group of defensive backs. I think this defense and this secondary specifically has a very strong case with what they have to work with. The question I have is, how will the offense consistently move the ball against this group today?
Listen to the crowd energy here in the early going. This is a tough environment for visitors. They'll try the ground game here. And they tackle him, but not before he picks up the first. The Sooners and the Crimson Tide, a rematch of a very memorable game last time. Oklahoma had a brutal year, coming off some tough losses, but they circled the wagons. They played really inspired at home, and Alabama just didn't show up, Kirk. This was a crushing loss for their playoff chances. They put 3 on the board. That's it.
Yeah, just another reminder of what makes college football so unpredictable. Alabama was starting to build some momentum and looking like they would be a team that would be destined to make it into the playoff. And of all games, to show up flat, just didn't look inspired against Oklahoma, who was having a down year. They caught the Sooners looking to make their season with a landmark win, and the Sooners capitalized on that and just ruined any hopes of a playoff for Alabama.
To 1st and 10 play coming up for the offense. A quick throw out left, complete.
Just a good job here by the quarterback. Got the ball out to his receiver. His guy eats up some yards, and they stay ahead of the sticks.
Second down here. Trying to find room. It's Ott. The sophomore able to bring him down quickly.
Love this early in the game by this defense, taking control of the line of scrimmage, not giving this back anywhere to go, and they keep him short of the first down.
Now the offense facing a 3rd and long from their own 41. Looking to pass. It's Mateer. Finds his man. It's Burks. And they get the 3rd down conversion. Football moves now to the 45.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And, man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on 3rd down, get him the ball.
Defense makes the tackle here on the final play of the first quarter. And through one quarter, it's been a duel of big-time receivers showing out early in this one. They've flipped ends of the field. We're ready now for the second period. Offense getting set for a 2nd down here to begin the quarter. From the shotgun, it's a handoff. The Sooners look to keep this drive moving.
Just what a great battle here at the line of scrimmage. Good push by the offensive line, and the back does enough to be able to pick up the first down.
And the Sooners come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. They're going to run it. And the defense able to hold him there to a short gain.
You know, in the era that we live in right now, everybody wants to spread the field around, try to create space, try to create one-on-one matchups, and the defense is countered over the years by trying to play out wide. But here's a great example. The defense has the ability to play wide, but still be solid at the line of scrimmage, not give up big run plays.
Off the RPO, caught to the right. They bring him down quickly, a short pitch and catch to get a little bit closer to the marker.
Here the defense was committed to stop the run. And an RPO, that's a dangerous thing to do. The quarterback sensed that, just pulled the ball out, got it out to the right flat for some good yards.
It's early, but this crowd is fired up. Listen to this noise here. This is going to be tough for the visitors today. They make the tackle, but the offense set up with a first down in the red zone.
Well, good push up front here, and this back, I tell you, he's got some outstanding vision to be able to find those creases, to be able to get positive yards, and here he gets the first down.
The Sooners trying to cash in here in the red zone. A pop pass on the jet sweep. They finally stop him at the 8. It'll be 1st and goal.
Boy, when you can rip off a huge gain like that on a touch pass, it forces the defense to be more cognizant of the pre-snap motion to the edges. Now the pre-snap motion calls should keep that second-level defenders guessing.
The Sooners looking to punch it in here. It's 1st and goal. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Makes the grab, a chance to score. He's swarmed by the defense.
Boy, tight windows is always down here. They have trust in throwing it. Just have to be smart.
A solid 1st down gain sets the ball up close to the goal line. Can they finish it off here on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. Going absolutely nowhere. It'll be a loss of the play.
It's a nice play by this defense, and now you're thinking about 3rd down and goal from around the 5-yard line. You got a real shot to come up with a stop here, whether they run it or throw it. You get a stop here, maybe holding the 3 points.
And the crowd coming to life here, trying to help this defense down in the red zone. It's the 2-minute timeout of what's been a really competitive game so far. Let's see if the offense can take the lead before the break. And this big crowd doing everything possible to inspire this defense down here near the goal line. Trying to throw for it on 3rd and goal. And he's got it! Touchdown, Sooners!
Perfect timing here by this quarterback. Great read, puts the ball where his man can make a play on it, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
Lining up to try the extra point. And he knocks it right through. So after putting up the touchdown, the kickoff team is out there to boot it away. He'll return it from inside the 5. Be tackled at the 17. Strong job by the coverage team. So here we go. First play of the drive, under 2 minutes before halftime. First play of the drive, he looks left for a completion. Tackled, but only after picking up a fresh set of downs.
I love how this quarterback is finding this slot receiver. Not only is he tough to handle, but it's what he's doing after the catch. He has such wiggle and quickness. He's tough to bring down, and you see more positive yards after the catch here.
Fresh set of downs for the offense. 1st down. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. Off the play fake, looking to throw on 1st down. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a quarterback's able to recognize a free rusher like that, that's what the check down is for. He has to recognize the protection issues quickly and pivot.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 29. Back now goes in motion. Defense will have to adjust. Back to throw. It's Simpson. Quick throw to his receiver. Oh, and he dropped it. You do not see that very often from this guy. He's going to bring up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass you got to have to come up with and make a catch.
So it's 3rd and long from the 29. Defense figures to bring pressure here. Looking to chuck it again. Punt over the middle. It's Horton. And a quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Tackle is made, but the junior quarterback shows off his arm strength that time. Alabama getting set with a 1st and 10 coming up. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Fires it to the wideout. He makes the grab. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a 1st down.
Great job by the quarterback with an accurate throw against man coverage for a 1st down. Overall, by the entire group, good execution by this offense.
Empty set now, 5 wide. Back goes in motion now. Let's see how the defense adjusts. First down, looking to throw the football. Grab behind the line, it's Miller. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4.
Hey, they get some positive yards here, but just from sitting up here looking down, Chris, I kind of have a sense that they wanted a little bit more on that play.
2nd down play coming up. They're going to run the option. Pitch to the back. He'll be stopped for a loss on the play. The defense all over the option that time. And now the offense will call a timeout here. Something they didn't like about what they saw there, wanting to make an adjustment before this critical down. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Fires it to the wideout. Pass is caught right near the sideline. What a catch, does get the foot down.
Well, if I'm this defense, you get these guys to 3rd down, you better bracket or double team some kind of coverage rolled to this receiver to take him away. This guy makes another big play.
The Tide offense line up here on 1st and goal. The shotgun running play call. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. And the offense will quickly spend a timeout here after the play. All back at the 10-yard line now for 2nd and goal. Dropping back, it's Simpson. Bringing pressure. And he could not be stopped. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
I think we're starting to kind of see a theme here, Chris, today. That's his 2nd touchdown. The offensive line doing their job, and he's doing an outstanding job of just reading the defense, finding the hole, and being able to pick up big yards and touchdowns.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with a PAT. PAT makes it a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. Return begins inside the 10. Gets it to the 25-yard line. That's when they'll start the drive. Here comes the first play of the drive. Can they do something in the final 30 seconds of the half? Here comes a handoff. The senior able to make the stop after a short gain. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
Gentlemen, what else is new? A spirited environment there in Tuscaloosa. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to watch this one unfold. Back to our guys in the booth.
Alabama will kick it off to start the second half. He's going to return it from near the goal line. Now the returner brought down by that coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now. They're backed up at their own 14. Off the play fake on first down. The pass rush closing in. And it's incomplete. The defender arrived the same time as the football. And now it's second down.
Well, these guys just continue to struggle throwing the football. You know, whether it's been running the wrong route, the quarterback not being accurate, the offensive line not doing their job. It's been a collective effort, and it's a big reason why they're trailing now in this game.
And wow, listen to this crowd noise. This stadium is vibrating. That's why this is such a tough place for visitors to play.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out the punishment, but here, He's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, he's unable to hold on to the football.
Well, it's been tough so far to get this drive going. Now they face 3rd and 10 from inside their own 20. What's the call going to be? Back to pass. It's Mateer. Looking deep down the left side. Pass ball is incomplete, but there was heavy contact, and here comes the penalty flag. Pass defense. Defender flag for being a little too aggressive. Offense gets 15 and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Grab down the middle. It's Burks. Tackle is made, but that's good for a first down of the 47.
That's an excellent throw by the quarterback, finding that window between the zones and delivering the ball on time.
And the Sooners lining up here on 1st and 10. There's the snap. They'll set up to throw. That's reeled in. It's Burks.
But they love going to this guy in the slot, don't they? What a mismatch inside. He reels in another one. This guy's automatic.
Pass complete. It's 2nd down now. Quarterback will throw this out of the RPO. And they wrap him up after the completion, just short of the first down marker. Critical 3rd down play for this offense right here. Try and muscle for the first down. The Sooners pick up enough yards to move the sticks.
Well, that shows you the trust they have in their offensive line in this running game. To get to a 3rd down, just trying to come up with a way to be able to keep this drive alive, keep hope alive that you can come back in this game. You rely on Old Reliable with that offensive line, and they come through for you.
The Sooners pick up enough yardage to get a first down. Keep it on the ground. There's the handoff. Eludes a tackle. Breaks a tackle on the play and makes a decent gain.
Another positive run on 1st and 10. You know, it's early on in this drive, but this defense has not shown the ability to stop the run. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I just keep running the football until they prove they can stop it.
Offense getting set up. Here's 2nd down. It's a quarterback keeper. And tests the middle and gets stuffed. That is just not open for business today.
Oh, my gosh. Give this defense all the credit in the world. They had their eyes in the right position, playing assignment football. Quarterback just looking for daylight. Couldn't find anywhere to go there on the keeper on the option. Again, that's great assignment football by the defense.
Play action fake. Looking to throw. Deep shot toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Well, that's a thing of beauty right there. Good job all around. Offensive line gave the quarterback enough time. Quarterback puts it right on the money. And with this receiver running a route like this, makes it pretty simple. All you had to do is get his head turned around, catch that football. He's already in the end zone for the touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. The PAT is up and good, so we're tied up here in the 3rd quarter. Kickoff team out there, they are fired up after just scoring a touchdown. Fields it just outside the goal line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now to begin at the 19. Out of the shotgun, he'll hand it off. They stop him after a 6-yard gain, so 2nd and 4.
Setting the tone early with good runs like this can really wear defense down and keep the defense guessing. That's why some of the best coaches of all time have primarily done it with great run games.
Here's the 2nd down play. They'll feed the back again. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Offense looking to convert on 3rd and short from the 27. Big throw caught on the left side. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, they're going to come up short of the sticks here, and we got a tough decision at this point in the football game for the head coach. What will they do now on 4th down?
And the punt team now on to kick it away. And here's the fair catch by the return man. And now the first play of the drive. They'll begin at the 38. Play action here on 1st down. Finds that big tight end for a short pass. And he runs out of bounds. That's a big gainer there.
Well, this is what coaches love to see. A quarterback with the ability to read the defense properly and then just get it to the open man. Sometimes it sounds simple, but it's tough to execute. This time we have good recognition by the quarterback. Then he gets it down to the tight end. You can see what he can do after the catch.
Offense comes up to the line. They might have a chance for a couple more plays before the quarter expires. And they try the middle, but stuffed for no gain. As we wrap up the 3rd quarter, check out the comparison of these big play wide receivers. Both guys have been lighting it up so far today. And let's see how this one unfolds in the final quarter, set to get underway. Here we go, first play of the quarter. Offense setting up for a 2nd down play. To throw, it's Mateer. Caught by the receiver. Defense makes the stop very close to a 1st down.
Now the receiver does all the work here. Man, that is easy living for this quarterback. Really good footwork by the receiver. Gets the separation. And at that point, it's just pitch and catch for the quarterback.
Important 3rd down play coming up. This would be a 56-yard attempt if they don't gain anything. They try to sneak it for the 1st. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain.
Believe it or not, Chris, there's an art to the quarterback sneak. And when you've got a savvy quarterback who knows how to fall forward and squeeze between his offensive linemen for the 1st down, short conversion situations become almost like clockwork.
And the Sooners are moving quickly down the field. Tight end goes in motion before the snap. Quarterback keeps the football. Breaks into open space. Quarterback gets down to avoid the tackle.
Not exactly the outcome this offense was hoping for here on the option. I'll give them credit, they didn't lose anything, so it wasn't a negative play. But this kind of play's got to be able to hit big and get down the sidelines for big yards.
2nd down after that run on the previous play. Caught in the backfield. It's Gibson. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play. Play coming up. It's 3rd down and 3. Looking to pick up the 1st down through the air. Caught over the middle. It's Wheeler. They bring him down, but that play moves him into scoring position. 1st and 10 from the 11. The Sooners line up on 1st and 10 now. Touchdown, Sooners. The quarterback takes it in himself. So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. PAT is up and good. We lead by a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Got momentum after scoring that touchdown. Now the kickoff team out there to kick it away. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team. Here's the first play of the drive now. They begin at the 19. And from the shotgun, an inside handoff. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior. Getting set. Here's second down. To the air. It's Simpson. Looking for the tight end, and it's caught. And he's tackled for a loss after the catch. The defense all over that one.
Right, the defense, great job. They win this battle. Trying to contain the tight end in the passing game can be very difficult in today's game. But they did it in a big way there.
Important play right here. Close game, fourth quarter, third and long. Play fake, looking to throw. Taking a deep shot here late in the game. Oh, it's picked off. What a play. Oh, he's bringing it back. At the 30 now. They finally bring him down, but what a return after the takeaway.
I get wanting to be aggressive, but down late in the game like this, that's a throw you just can't make. And now, you're probably not going to get the ball back. This could end up costing them the game.
Okay, so here comes the Oklahoma offense back on the field. So it's still a one-possession game. The offense would love to work the clock here, but they can't take their foot off the gas. And this one goes nowhere. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And the player is down injured after that last play. We'll take a timeout while they check him out. Quickly behind the sticks here after the loss. Second down and 11. Looking to pass here on second down. And it's caught. Defense wraps him up after the catch, but he's just short of the first down. Comes the noise. This crowd is trying to inspire this defense to make a big red zone stop. It's a keeper. We're able to convert. It'll be first and goal at the 7. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. The Sooners line it up with first and goal. And it's a kneel down.
Oh, man, there's nothing like taking a knee on the road to run out the clock and take home a victory. Because you know, they've been hearing it all game long from these fans on the road. This time, they get to go home with a W.
Well, the experts will say, Kirk, this was an upset, but it felt like a really even matchup. Two quality teams battling right down to the end. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, what a game. This is really what you love about college football. Good against good. Find out who ends up having the upper hand at the end of the day. This is a great victory for this ball club. Let's see what they do after this win.
And that's going to wrap it up. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.